Now, in August, Prime Minister Carney announced $1.2 billion in federal funding for the struggling softwood lumber sector. That was reiterated in today's budget. Since that pledge, though, U.S. President Trump has slapped an extra 10% tariff on Canadian softwood on top of a 35% levy already in place. To explain what these tariffs mean for BC's industry and if the investments are enough, we're joined by Harry Nelson, an associate professor at UBC's forestry faculty. Harry, appreciate you being here. Canadian softwood lumber tariffs now total 45%. What does that mean for BC right now?
Dan, it is, we've never really experienced anything quite this drastic. Lumber in these kind of times tends to be a low margin business, and these kind of tariffs push us well below the ability of producers to kind of cover their costs. So it's a fairly grim situation.
And we've heard those forecasts before. Do you expect to see more closures and curtailments even with this federal funding pledge?
I do, sadly. You kind of just, part of it too, I think what will happen here is you don't want to turn your nose up at any kind of money you can get, but it's in some ways just a drop in the bucket given the needs in the sector. And I sort of expect that it'll maybe help a few firms kind of hang on for a while, but it's kind of, in some cases, delays the pain, but it's not going to make it go away.
Well, yesterday, Premier David Eby stood with Dominic LeBlanc, our U.S.-Canada trade minister, and they were touting this new working group to help the sector. What difference do you think that might make?
I would like to hope that it would make a difference. I feel that if we're going to be doing something like this, we need focus and attention and targeted attention to kind of figure out where government can support trying to keep something alive. And I think it goes beyond just the current focus, which is just only on kind of lumber and solid wood product manufacturers. Mm-hmm. It's such an integrated system across the country. Contractors, pulp and paper mills, everybody sort of relies on one another. And so you've got to take, I think, that more holistic picture, which I hope we would do.
Do you expect to see more of that push for integration across the country by the federal government and perhaps between provinces as well?
I worry that everybody's just so focused on the short term right now, which has always been a challenge with forestry, that we won't see it. And again, as I said, 700 million, 500 million, either of those, they don't go far when you sort of think about, how much is needed probably within each province. And so it'd be nice to see, but I'm not keeping, my hopes aren't high about that.
Harry Nelson, an associate professor at the University of BC's forestry faculty. We appreciate your time and expertise. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dan.